He was there on the night the Lions played their first home playoff game in 32 years, and Calvin Johnson is a Pro Football Hall of Famer as well as a 6-time Pro Bowler and the co-founder of Primitive Performance, which we always talk about with him when he joins us, as he is now. Good to see you, Calvin. How are you?
Rich, team, good to see y'all, man.
It's a pleasure to see you as well, right here on our Zoom. So let me just give you the floor. What was it like to be in Ford Field on Sunday night?
Man, I was like a kid. I tell everybody, I was standing still, but on the inside, I was jumping up and down. And I have to feel like everybody in that stadium was doing the same thing. Everybody was on their feet, like half the stadium, if not more, was full an hour before the stadium, before the game. So it was an exciting time, man. I'm just happy to be here in this moment, because like I said, it's been 32 years, like you said.
Exactly. So, and I'm sure while you were playing for Detroit, you were dreaming of what it would look like, right? Did it in your mind's eye look like the way you saw it in person?
Yeah, I mean, the loudest I ever heard Detroit was, I think it was 2011. We had a Monday night game. Chicago Bears came in town. They had like 11 false starts that game, but it was just rocking. I felt like personally, Detroit was probably one of the loudest stadiums I've ever been in the NFL. I think Detroit kind of proved that last week, and that thing was rocking. That thing was loud in there. That roof was just reverberating that sound, and the sound hit the roof and come right back down in the field, and my ears were hurting and everything. I think I'm gonna have earplugs this week too.
Okay, so yeah, I mean now you'll take precautions for Sunday's game, is what you're saying.
For sure.
All right.
Take precaution.
Okay. So did you see Stafford as well? Did you see Matthew?
Oh yeah, man. I had to make sure I saw Stafford, man. I had to do whatever I could, to help the home team, man. Try to bring down, take some of his energy or do something. It didn't really work. He didn't throw any interceptions or fumble for me, but we at least got the win.
but I mean, again, it's just awesome to watch him play at such a high level, Calvin.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, obviously the level at which he can play, but to see him in this environment as the road villain, right, in this spot where clearly, his emotions had to be playing with him, and we're seeing a photograph on the screen here with his right thumb taped over, and he was bleeding, and he's taking hits, but I don't know if anybody throws a prettier spiral than Matthew Stafford, Calvin.
Yeah, man. Before they were talking about the Patrick Mahomes sidearm, no look stuff, Matthew was doing all that. We just in Detroit, so we didn't get all the love and media attention, but Matthew's been doing all that stuff. So, and like I said, when Matthew was here in Detroit, we knew we had a Super Bowl quarterback. And I think I said it before, once he left, the first year after he left, he got a Super Bowl, so we knew what we had, man. But Matthew, man, dude, yeah, he drops dimes. He put it anywhere on the field.
And what do you think? He won't say it publicly, but what do you think was going on in his brain and his heart that night when he strolled out to Ford Field?
He wanted to put it to us. I know it. I know he wanted to come home. He wanted to come home and put it to us. He knew we were going to be booing him. I know he was on point. I think he played a pretty solid game. But it was just at the end of the day, Detroit was just too much.
We've got Calvin Johnson here on the Rich Eisen Show. And speaking of guys that I'm wondering if you went up to, did you go up to Sean McVay and tell him that the award that he got for, what was it, the best prep player in Georgia back in the day when he won it over you, Calvin? Did you have that conversation with him at all, Calvin?
So, I think I recently just found out, the truth behind this story.
Okay.
So McVay was a year ahead of me. All right. So it was a whole year ahead of me. So I think it was McVay that might have started this whole story himself. He might be the root of this whole story because we weren't even in the same year.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't lose the award to him? Is that what you're saying, Calvin?
Yeah, I didn't lose it to him. I don't know who. I don't think I won. I didn't win the award. I don't know who I lost it to, but we weren't even the same year, so we couldn't even be up for the award together.
You know what? It doesn't matter then. Because I was watching the national championship game with Marshall Faulk, and we came up with the idea of having an almost Heisman house, and and how the people in the almost Heisman house had better careers potentially than those in the Heisman house. Calvin. You know what I mean?
Heard of that. That's good. That's good.
Would you be in the almost Heisman house too, Calvin?
You know what? I had a couple votes, so I guess I would be a potential candidate.
You're in. I'll talk to Marshall about getting you a room in the almost Heisman house. I love that.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Calvin Johnson here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, so what's your relationship with Amon-Ra St. Brown? Do you have one? Do you talk with him? I'd love to know whatever information you're willing to cough up here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, don't know too much more than, the average Joe. I just started getting back into the fold this year.
Okay.
I haven't been around a whole bunch of practices. I've been around a few. I've been able to, sit down, and we haven't had too mmany crossings, but I've talked to the kid, and I love the kid, man. Humble, hard worker. And I think that, we get to see that hard work, every Sunday, because it don't just happen on Sunday. You got to put it in during the week. I know that. And I'm happy to see that he's putting in the work because, he's killing guys in the middle of the field. He's a hell of a player. I was
going to ask you, what do you think makes him so good?
And, I think, he's smart. He doesn't lose leverage, and he has strength. I think when you combine those things, you got the savvy, and then you're strong. And then you have a will. You have a will not to lose. You have a will not to give in. You got a will to outwork everybody else. That can, all those things combined. That's how you put out 1,400 yards on a season and put up 1,000-yard seasons consistently in a Pro Bowler. And obviously, he got snubbed this year, but that's what he's doing.
I mean, he got snubbed for the Pro Bowl, but not for All Pro, which, as you know, that's kind of the one you want anyway. If you had to choose, obviously you want it all. But he is that good. He really is, man. And I just love watching him play. And it just, the way that he catches it, it stuns me if it drops, right? I mean, I'm used to seeing him catch and turn and know exactly where to go every single time.
I love him because, when he catches the ball, he's just looking to do damage after he catches the ball. You never know what's going to happen when he gets the ball. He's another one of those guys just shoot, he can take it to the house anytime he touches it.
Calvin Johnson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so let's talk about Primitive Performance and your business. What's the latest on that right now, Calvin?
Man, 24 should be exciting for us. We're going through the process of what's just called NSF for Sport Certification, which will allow us to have our products in collegiate and professional locker rooms. So you have the top tier athletes being able to consume our product. And like I say, man, we started from an authentic place. We just wanted to bring things that we use when we were players. We use topicals. We use a whole bunch of rehydration drinks for our recovery and for our performance so we could be on the field. And so when we started with the topical and with the rehydration mix, being able to add an anti-inflammatory component to those, which they didn't have before. They might have had a little bit of heating and a little bit of cooling, but not necessarily that anti-inflammatory component. So if we could bring that to the masses, obviously bring it to professional athletes, that's exactly what we're aiming to do. And obviously, for anybody that has, whether it's arthritis or just everyday bumps and bruises, wear and tear, it's good for all of those things too. I got family that has, I have rheumatoid arthritis and different ailments, and it's been successful for those people. It's just all about helping people live their best, quality of life.
PrimitivePerformance.com. Check out all of that. Before I let you go, our radio audience doesn't see it, but we can see. Is this your office you're zooming in from, Calvin?
Yeah. I'll talk to my wife. I need to upgrade this thing. I feel like every time I haven't touched this thing in like 2-3 years. So,
it seems like you have. Is that a miniature replica of your Hall of Fame bust behind your right shoulder? Is that what that is right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'm also. Is that an actual Megatron up there? Top right shelf, right up there. Is that
somewhere right over there?
Is that it? Is that what that is?
It's actually an award I got from I think it was a Canadian news channel. It's called the Megatron Award I got,
Damn. Look at that. That is sweet.
Was it TNN maybe I got this from?
Is that that's a 101 right there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the game balls. Where are the game balls from? What are the game balls from?
Just random games. I got one of them, there might be my kid's birthday.
Okay.
One of them might be a record-breaking moment, whether it's a franchise or NFL records. So I got a couple different ones.
That
The
doesn't
ones
sound.
I cover the most are the most are like on family birthdays or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you appreciate Giannis wanting the game balls on those moments in the NBA? Calvin, is that what you're saying?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man, to be able to do those on the moments whether it's your family's a special moment for somebody in your family, or it might be a birth of a kid or something like that. It's always special.
All right. Well, listen, this has been great to catch up with you. Is it true that you came back from a ski vacation? Is that what you're coming back from right now, Calvin?
Well, I snowboard.
You snowboard? What in the hell?
I came back from Park City. So, this is the thing. Look. Okay. I went to Jackson Hole the week before they won the first playoff game.
Okay.
I went to Park City this week, so I might just have to keep it rolling. We win this week, I'm going somewhere. I don't know where I'm going. I'm getting back on the mountain.
So you're going to have to, okay, so this is part of the reason why the Lions are on the run that they're on is because you're snowboarding before their big games and they keep winning. I understand that. What in the hell does it look like with Calvin Johnson snowboarding? I mean, that has got to be.
I got a cool picture on my Instagram. I got some more stuff to post I took this week too.
Okay.
I got to do some editing first.
All right. So
I love it.
Shred, is that the word I should use? Is that what you do? You shred? What do you do?
I am carving up powder, baby. We got like a foot of snow like yesterday. We got a foot of snow like over the last 2 days in Park City, man. It was amazing. It was freaking amazing.
Okay, so at Megatron to see you, what do you say? What did you do to powder? What are you doing? You're shredding it up? What are you're carving it? Okay. So, well, I don't mean you were like rolling your eyes. I mean, I'm not a snowboarder, man. I'm Calvin, I am a gold medalist at après ski. I am the best après skier you will ever come across. Ever. Because I don't care. I will put on a terry cloth robe. I will smoothie it up. I will red wine it up. Just give me a fire and give me something to put my feet up on. Honestly, I will. I shred that. I carve that up. That's what I carve.
I love it.
So let me last one for you. What would it mean for the Lions to win this game, make an NFC Championship game, and keep this thing rolling, Calvin?
Man, I don't know, man. I just feel like I'll be in a perpetual dream state, along with the rest of Michigan. We don't know what to expect now. We're just trying to, ride this thing as long as we can right now. But the good thing is that we got a good backing. We got a good foundation, and what Brad and Dan and the whole squad and over there with the Lions are doing. So it ain't for no reason. It ain't just happened out of nowhere. It's the reason why we're here. So we're excited.
Calvin, thanks for the time. I do hope to see you maybe in Vegas. There's no powder there on the mountain, so you'll have to be careful on finding a spot to go snowboarding before that game. But I'm sure you can find something in the Mountain Time Zone to help you out with that. Okay.
You know it. It's good to see. If I get out there, I'll make sure I
please
come by and see you.
And if not, then Canton. I'm going to need help at the jacket dinner this year. Maybe you can help me out too, because Michigan has won it all now. And for me to go into Ohio coming off of a Michigan national championship and be handed a live microphone in a room full of Buckeye fans, it could get ugly. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I may need your help.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
All right,
I get it.
Look for my number.
For you.
Thanks for the time, Calvin. You be well.
All right. You too.
Everybody check out Primitive Performance at primitiveperformance.com, and, of course, at Megatron on Instagram to see him snowboarding. How's that look?
It's pretty awesome, actually.
Sure it is.
He's pretty good.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.